Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now Eddie Hearn has revealed that he has sent out offers to Filip Hrgovic and Michael Hunter for a fight with one another next. Now this is a great fight, this fight should happen because they are two fighters who are kind of not the boogeyman, but they are fighters who you wouldn't want to risk fighting if you are in a good position. That is the difficulty with both of them getting fights in the top 10 or top 20. They're not going to want to risk their position because it's a tough fight. So ultimately, they are kind of in no man's land, so the best thing to do is fight one another. If they want a big fight, then they can both go into the ring together, and then the winner of that fight could potentially go on to a big fight after that. Now, these two don't necessarily have the biggest of profiles, especially Michael Hunter. I think that considering how well he talks and how well he fights, he backs it all up. I think that he should have a lot bigger profile than he already does, so that is kind of interesting, maybe something that he needs to work on is self-promoting, considering at the moment he doesn't even have a promoter, which is a shame because he's a great talent, so that is something that he definitely needs to work on. But ultimately, the fight with Filip Hrgovic is a great one, especially to propel himself to the next level. Now, we cannot expect this fight to be a main event. I don't believe it will be. It could be on the undercard of, say, Dillian Whyte versus Povetkin, although that fight has been put off because Alexander Povetkin has had a worse bout of COVID than was first believed. So we don't know when that fight will be rescheduled for because it's not happening in January. So whenever that fight happens, perhaps Filip Hrgovic versus Michael Hunter will be on the undercard. And I think that the styles match up perfectly for a good stand-up fight. Michael Hunter has the speed, the movement, and the aggression also. He's not someone who's just going to box his way to a decision or anything like that. He's going to go and have a go at Filip Hrgovic. And we know about Filip Hrgovic, you do not have to go looking for him because he's going to be right there standing in the centre of the ring, trading up with Michael Hunter. Hunter is not going to be able to take as much punishment as a Filip Hrgovic will be able to. So Hunter will have to be smart and educated in the early stages of the fight because he's going to probably want to take Filip Hrgovic into deep waters and take him late. But I think that the styles match up for a good fight. They both are having difficulty finding opponents and stepping up through the levels because, as I said, no one's going to really want to risk their position fighting someone like that because it's a tough fight, and if they win, they don't get a huge amount of credit because they don't have the profile do Michael Hunter and Filip Hrgovic. So if they win, they don't get a huge amount of credit, but if they lose, then they've just given up their position to someone who they didn't really have to fight. So in this situation, the best thing to do is for them to fight one another. That is what seems to be happening and what Eddie Hearn is working towards. I think that the best thing for this fight could be to be on the undercard of Dillian Whyte versus Povetkin, a big heavyweight fight that will be pay-per-view, so it offers them that pay-per-view platform. So if they could get chief support on an event like Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin, then that will put them in great stead with their publicity, with their profile, and also with a big fight next. Maybe even call out the winner of Dillian Whyte versus Povetkin. I know that the winner of that fight will want to go on to a world title opportunity, but that doesn't stop them from calling their name, making a bit of a name for themselves as well. I would say that that's going to be more likely to come from Michael Hunter, not necessarily Filip Hrgovic. He doesn't strike me as someone who's going to start shouting names and calling for this person to get in the ring. He's not really that type of person. I think that Michael Hunter is the person who would do that, and why not? I mean, everyone else does it to build fights, to make fights happen, so why can't he talk his way into a big fight if he were to beat Filip Hrgovic? But it's a 50-50 fight. That is why the fight should happen. That is why I'm glad Eddie Hearn has declared he's making an effort to force that fight through. Guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Is this a fight you are interested in? I mean, of course it would be. I hope it would be anyway. Great fight, and hopefully it can happen next year. Guys, drop your thoughts on this in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.